Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T Guy.
All right, guys, welcome to this is going to be a sort of a special edition of Event Radio. You heard the whole thing, life makes full circle.
And we're back.
Yeah, we're back. But before we bust out and tell you what's going on, actually about a year ago this week, Event Radio came to life.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to us. Yeah, there you go. But we came to a very special event, and we are back to that event this year, which is absolutely one of the coolest things we get to come to all year long. We're at the NHRA National Hot Rod Reunion, and we're going to be here for 3 days wide open, having a big time, and try to bring you some of the coolest stuff this place has to offer. Do you ever think, T, when we started this thing a year ago, we said we were doing everything with wheels. Do you ever think that what that would encompass? If you roll back to a year ago, we were sitting under this tree where we are today. Man, we've done roller derby. We've done soapbox derby. We've done,
motorcycle race.
Yeah, I didn't know things
racing.
had so many wheels, and much less for us to get involved in it. When we started this thing, we thought we'd go to the drag races, the stock car races.
We've interviewed about everybody besides the big wheels in government.
And we didn't want to talk to them.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, but we did have a state senator on here.
And mayor of Livermore?
The mayor of Livermore, which is one cool guy. We're going to get to go see him again, and we're going to break our wheel tradition because it's going to have a wheel, but it's going to be a propeller. We're going to go to the boat drags in Livermore, Kentucky.
That's going to be too neat.
Another thing we're going to do, we're going to Jack Daniel's Distillery. Now, how can you imagine turning us loose in Jack Daniel's Distillery, going to the Lynchburg Motorcycle Rally?
Jack's name after that.
Yeah, we're going to the Lynchburg Motorcycle Rally with our good buddies and all down there. And
Pat Bedford.
Yeah, Mr. Pat Bedford, motorcycle racer extraordinaire, has invited us to come to that, and we're going to go there, and we're going to have fun.
And Pat even makes moonshine candy.
Yeah.
Moonshine apple pies.
Yeah, well, you get down next to Jack Daniels, it probably sort of rubs off.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, we are at the 2014 edition of the Hot Rod Reunion
at Beach Bend Park.
And our favorite place in the world and our great sponsor, Beach Bend Park,
Beach
Bend
Raceway,
Splash Lagoon. But we're here. We're going to have a bunch of fun. We're going to introduce you to a shown-up, nice bunch of people and bring you everything that's cool from the Hot Rod Reunion and everything we can possibly get into. We're going to be there doing it.
Spiv, I believe the crowd is a lot bigger this year than last year.
You think so?
It could be. I mean, you know how many was here last year? They're still rolling in. And some beautiful cars.
Yeah, well, see, it was
driven cars.
We've had some really bad weather. Everything's a little bit wet around here and stuff, but that'll be gone before long, and things will be coming back to normal like they're supposed to be. And this weather's going to be nice. Weather, a little bit humid, but still in the 80s. It's going to be pretty cool. So
typical Kentucky weather.
Well, guys, we're going to take off and get by our next security guard. Boy, there's more people here than there are in a prison.
But I tell you what, that last security guard sure was pretty.
Yeah, but she wouldn't sing the national anthem. We asked her to.
She wouldn't search me either.
Yeah, well, you just try everything. You don't need to be doing that. Anyway, guys, we're going to head down the hill and open the door to you to our 2014 edition of Event Radio. Starting off with, like I say, the coolest event we get to go to. We want you to hang with us, enjoy it. We appreciate you listening, and we're going to try to make your time worthwhile to where you really enjoy what we're going to bring you.
Like we say, you listen, you like. You'll
That's
really
it.
like this one.
That's it.
I
Well,
wish we had a camera on this.
Yeah, well, I know.
Because these cars are just, it's like old rock and roll. The hits just keep on coming.
Yeah, well, we could get one of those GoPro things, but we turned it around, then we could never do it, and they could see us, and we'd be in trouble, you know?
Well, I think we're looking at too many women instead of hot rods.
Yeah, we are. We're looking at too many girls. But, guys, we're going to take off, bring you the Thursday edition of Hot Rod Reunion, up close and personal, and the way everybody wants to see it. If you can't be here, we're going to make you awful sorry that you couldn't get here, but we're going to bring you a good time, have a good show, and just hang in there with us. We're going to get a quick message from the people that make this possible, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Hot Rod Reunion time. We run into the only guy here that I think's older than me, and an old friend, Mr. Jerry Gwynn. Buddy, how in the world are you?
We're doing wonderful. Daryl's on his way up, getting ready to leave on the plane here in about 15, 20 minutes. He'll be here about 4:30 this afternoon.
But when they come in and they come down to the walkover bridge, they see a new deal here. And they see the Baby Huey Roadster, which that's your claim to fame, but they see that one of the kids' cars, one of Daryl's cars. Tell me a little about this deal.
Well, back in 2011, one of the guys that bought Daryl's car back 30 years ago called and says, "We want to sell your car. Do you want to buy it back?" And we mumbled back and forth and said, "Well, maybe not, maybe, yeah, I think we will." So we bought it back. Didn't ever have it delivered to the shop. When we went to Gainesville in 2013, the people that had my car came up to the trailer and said, "We have your old Roadster." And I said, "Bring me a picture," because I didn't really believe what they told me. But I said, "Bring me a picture." She says, "I'll bring it tomorrow." Well, tomorrow came and she didn't come back. So I just figured she didn't have it. And the next day came and she didn't come back. Well, what happened was Daryl had intercepted them and said, "That's the car and we want it back. And we want to buy it back." And she says, "It ain't for sale. You can have it."
Really?
Yeah. So
well, that's cool.
So we got it back. One of our good buddies here, Sherwin, he came up there. It was up in Gainesville in a barn. It was crashed and been all up, and we restored it back and took it to Gainesville this year, and we're going to make Bowling Green, Indy, and Bakersfield.
Well, I tell you what, buddy, the Hot Rod Reunion, Bowling Green has always been sort of a cool place for you to be here anyway, with the old funny car days. And didn't Daryl really pretty much get a start here a little bit?
Actually, Daryl, this is the first national event he won, the Sports Nationals in 1981.
So. I'm old, but my all-timers hadn't got a hold of me completely. I still remember a few things.
It's only some-timers. It's not old-timers.
Yeah, some-timers. And when you get our age, it can be convenient some-timers.
That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like selective hearing.
Yeah. My wife says I got that for sure.
My wife says the same thing.
How is she? She doing good?
She's great. She's here with me. She's in the motorhome. We just got here a few minutes ago.
Well, all right. See, you run up on your old fat buddy here. You can't hide from me. There's no way.
I heard that.
Not in Bowling Green anyway. And boy, I tell you what, we actually had a bunch of fun with a bunch of old alcohol funny cars back years ago. And I went up to Daryl. I guess maybe it was last year. And of course, he had his back turned to me, just sitting there. And I said, "Buddy, I bought this clutch cooler, and is it still under warranty?" He knew exactly who it was. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, he sold a lot of clutch coolers around to a lot of old racers, and a lot of them still have them, and they don't naturally use them anymore, but a lot of them still have them.
I think that I probably still have mine. I think it and the tool tray is about the only thing that survived, but he built a good product. It still got it.
Well, that's what happened back years ago. You built a good product that lasted forever.
Yeah, there you go. See, it wasn't too good for repeat sales, but it did last forever. Yeah. So you having fun?
Yeah, we are. We're having a ball doing this.
Well, this is a lot more fun than the pressure of the other, I guarantee you. The other, here you get to be cool, and the other you had to be cool and go fast all at the same time, or go home,
And be politically correct.
Yeah, right. We understand that completely. Been there and done that. Well, I tell you what, I know I don't get to slow you down very much, but I appreciate you taking a few minutes to be on Event Radio. This thing has been really good to us. This is the second year we've been actually able to cover the Hot Rod Reunion, and this little program goes everywhere in the world. And before we get out of here, I want to talk to Daryl, and maybe we can expose his foundation to a few more people. I doubt we can, because everybody, if you're breathing, you know about it. But you never know. Maybe we can help a little bit.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate all the support that everybody's given us over the years, and looking forward to a good time here.
I want to know how come he doesn't have you on Barrett Jackson. He's always on Barrett Jackson. Well, where's old Dad? What are you doing?
They want good-looking young guys. They don't want old gray-haired guys.
Okay, all right. Good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce you to an old buddy and a sure-enough legend in the sport of drag racing, Mr. Baby Huey himself, Mr. Jerry Gwynn. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
All right, we'll be back, guys. All right, guys, we are back, and we're making it through Manufacturers Midway. We come up on one of our personal favorite companies that because he's got a hot rod and he buys a lot of stuff from you guys.
In my opinion, it's the only place to buy hot rod stuff.
That's right. We're with the guys from Speedway Motors. Tell us who you are.
I'm Bill Emberton, and I'm actually a street rod tech with Speedway Motors.
Oh, okay. So if Terry has a problem, you're the guy he calls, right?
Absolutely.
And you're going to fix it. Everything, every question he's got. Is there catering here? Where they can bring us food? Or
now we don't have catering.
Oh, well, we could have it brought in, I guess, to answer all our questions.
Sure.
Well, Spiv, everything I've ordered, I haven't had to have no assistance. Everything is bolted right on just correctly. Even for me, that was good.
Yeah, and you're about as mechanical as nobody. So if you can do it, everybody can do it.
This is a fact.
First thing we want to do, we want to express our condolences to Speedway Bill. He was a true pioneer in this industry, and actually, in some remote way, probably had a little something to do with every hot rod on the planet.
Absolutely. Bill was a wonderful guy, and he actually was involved since 1952. His love for cars and his passion for cars it continued to the day he died, and it shows in the Speedway Motors business, his museum, and it rubs off on all the employees here. He's such a great influence for everybody around him. He's going to be well missed.
Yeah, and we can understand that, and it's got to be probably harder on you guys because I'm sure he treated you guys like family because he was a pretty cool guy.
He was, and he treated everybody the same respect, and just as he was, one of his own best friends.
Well, there you go. You guys having fun so far at Hot Rod Reunion? This is going to get busy real quick here pretty soon.
We are. It's going to be a great show for everybody to see what products we have coming up and what we have on display here. Looking forward to a lot of good racing action here, a lot of the nostalgia stuff. It's really fun to see. And, the crowds are going to pick up. It looks like the weather's going to hold off for us. And, it's going to be a hot day, but we got a big shade. Yeah, guys, if you stroll through the Midway area, you're not going to have much trouble finding these guys. It's their only really cool purple tractor and trailer around, with the big Speedway awning and all, and it's got all kinds of cool stuff out here. Plus, you are next-door neighbors to our absolute favorite people in the world, the guys at Quick Fuel. All right. Yeah, they're great people, too.
Yeah, they're one of our sponsors. So
okay.
We're very happy with Quick Fuel,
yes.
Marvin and the guys. Plus, they're always good for having fun. If you guys get bored, you can go next door to the Quick Fuel trailer, and they will have a good joke for you or a good story or something to tell you.
If they don't, they'll make up something.
Yeah, they'll lie to you if you don't. They'll just tell you anything.
Well, yeah, I'll do the same thing back for them, too.
Yeah, that way you guys could entertain each other. Hey, we'll come here and hang out. This will be fun.
I'll keep them on their toes.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, come by the Speedway booth, and you'll get free Bucket T-shirts. Or T-Bucket T-shirts, not T-shirts, I'm sorry, catalogs. Street rod. If you got a 55, 40 Chevrolet, 32 Ford, these people can fix you up good.
Yeah, they got a catalog rack out here. You can go by and pick you up one and might even place an order while you're here. I'm sure you guys are capable of taking one of those, aren't you?
Well, unfortunately, we don't take any orders at the show.
Right.
However, we do have stickers on all the catalogs. It has free shipping good to the 28th of this month.
Oh, that's better.
Show special. And if you've already got your catalogs, come by and get one of our promo code piece of paper. It's got it on there too.
Yeah, there you go, guys. There, got cool deal. Hey, we might have to figure out something. We'll go home tonight and order it. We'll be, and the thing about it will probably get here faster than we get back to the event. It's good, good as you guys are on shipping stuff.
Absolutely, we ship out to everything that's in stock. If it's ordered before 3 p.m., it goes out same day.
Boy, we can't even find our UPS guy that fast.
Yep.
And when you talk to people, you can understand them. They're from the United States. You're guaranteed to get the right part. They'll help you in any way they can.
Yeah, you don't speak to Habib and Habib's other brother Habib.
I've ordered a lot of motorcycle parts and car parts through the years. But these have got, not because the man's sitting here right now, but they've got to be the best company that I've ever had any kind of dealings with.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty good recommendation because we actually get to talk to a lot of folks. So.
Absolutely. That's what we try to do. We're here for the new rodders and even the experienced rodders have been in it all their life.
Well, the thing about it, in your particular position, you can actually save them a ton of money on trial and error because you know what's going to work and what isn't before it gets there, and you say, oh, man, I wish I'd have got a so-and-so, you know?
Correct. And that's what we do. We highly recommend it, especially if you have no experience with the parts. Call us first. We're going to guide you in a direction as opposed to what we want to do is we want to make sure your rod is the way you want it, and you spend only the money you need to spend on it because we want you to be able to enjoy your rod as opposed to it being in your garage replacing parts that didn't fit correctly for you.
Shoot, guys, they want you to build 2 or 3, you know, and just get you bit by the bug, and there you go. You got to keep on coming back.
Absolutely.
My friend, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We have a blast doing this, and we only bring you the very best of the vendors, and Speedway, we consider them to be one of them. So that's where we are. We're going to stab and steer and take another little message from one of our sponsors, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and very few cars we chase down to get to see, but boy, I tell you what, one of my favorite cars growing up as a kid, and I hate to admit to being a street racer at one time, but I actually made more money with it than any car I had. I had a 60-model Corvette that I used to go and spend time with my grandmother in, and my dad loved it because I was spending time with my grandmother, and I was going down there and street racing and making a pile of money. And we ran upon a black Corvette with flames. It don't get no better as far as I'm concerned. What is your name, sir?
My name's Dean Carnes, and I'm racing the Carnes and Lopez 59 Corvette.
Buddy, where in the world are you from?
Dayton, Ohio.
So Alton James, the Corvette guys are up there close.
Yes, sir. You got a speed shop about 4 miles from my house, and I worked with him for about 15 years.
And then I've got an old buddy up there by the name of Tom Harding. I don't know if you know Tom or not.
Yes, I do. I know Tom Harding.
Do you admit to knowing Tom?
Yes, I do.
Well, not many people do, you know. But Tom, my buddy, is into a thing called Powerhouse Cars International.
That's correct.
And he's an old funny car buddy of mine from way back when. How long have you been running this car?
This car's been on track for 43 years.
43 years. Well, we're good at picking them. Daggone it. Got 100,000 miles on a quarter mile at a time.
It's got probably more trips down the racetrack than it does on mileage on the street.
Really?
Yeah. It's got had 1,600 miles on it when I bought the car.
And so it's been a race car
ever since then. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun. So you've had it. How long have you been racing now? See, my math's not that good.
I was racing since I've been 15 half years old. I had no driver's license.
Well, we started about the same. I started at 14 with no driver's license.
Yeah, but I'm 66.
Well, I'm 65.
Well, that's
so
close.
We're close. We're close. I just I would just kill to have my old one back, you know. I tell you what, that brings back so many. Was drag racing, let me ask you something, I want you to be honest with our listeners. Was drag racing more fun then or now?
Back then it was probably a lot more fun because it was class racing. If you run a Corvette E-Modified production, you run 85 cars that run E-Modified production heads up.
Yeah.
Now you've got cars that you just a spot. If I run 1090s or 1050s and I got to run a car that's 950s, he has to spot me a second.
Right. And they used to do, you would win your class, and then you would go on to an eliminator division.
That's for an overall,
and run an overall deal. I mean, I'm old, but I did a lot of that. I did
you
a
were
lot
around when they did that. That's true.
Actually, believe it or not, my Corvette days, in 1966, I held the A-Sport national record, so, you know, I know a little about it.
That's been a while back. Yes,
Yeah.
it has. Yes, it has.
Yeah, I actually drew a guy the first round at U.S. Nationals called Bruce Larson at AC Cobra, and he spanked me like a stepchild.
If that's his name, Larson, he's got a funny car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He was a Grand Marcher, I think, last year.
Yeah, I interviewed. We had him on this show last year, and I asked him. I said, "You remember the little fat kid that you outran in the silver Corvette?" He said, "Yeah, I think so." I said, "Well, I'm the fat kid, you know." And so we had a real good show. But he's a nice fella. Have fun at this event.
Very. This is one of probably the nicest events there is. If you want to see any kind of car, from a gas car, modified production, super stock, anything, they've got it here.
Yeah, you can. This is probably the world's fastest car show.
I'd say yes, sir.
You know,
yes,
and then
sir.
you see yours with the flames, and we just go crazy. And we've been. Did you have any idea how fast this golf cart is? Because we caught you coming down the return road.
I can only run 10 miles an hour. That's the speed limit on
Well,
the return
hey,
road.
see, we're close, right?
You're pretty fast.
Hey, there we are. Well, listen, my friend, we disturbed you. You were trying to find a chip or something for it when we pulled up, and we know enough about racing that takes priority over a stupid little radio show.
That's okay. It's not a problem.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to let us look at the Corvette. It is absolutely cool, guys. We're going to take some pictures of it, and it will flip behind this show so you can see it as well as hear this nice man about this car that's got all these miles on it, a quarter of a mile at a time.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us. We're going to be right back, guys. All right, guys, we are back at the Hot Rod Reunion. Every once in a while, and we go to events everywhere all over the country, but every once in a while we drive by a pit area where there are cars that are absolute showstoppers, and we have done just the thing. And two of the most popular cars that General Motors has ever built, the 55 and the 57 Chevrolet. And we got the gentleman here that I guess you'd say. What is your name, sir?
I'm Ronnie Egner,
Ronnie, where are you from, my friend?
Mayfield, Kentucky.
Well, that's not very far, is it?
No.
I didn't know they had this good-looking a car in Mayfield, Kentucky. You know, my grandmother used to live in Marion, Kentucky, which that's not too far from there.
No, it's not.
You may not realize it, but a year from this coming August, there was an event that is signed here as of yesterday that is one of the biggest in the world, the Tri-5 event. These guys remanufacture 55, 6, and 7 Chevys. And they have signed an event with Beach Bend August the 14th and 15th to have the Tri-5 Nationals here. So it's going to be 3 days of nothing but 55, 56, and 57 Chevys, and we want to make sure you make it.
Well, I'll try. That sounds like it'd be an awesome show.
Well, these guys have bought all the tooling, from what I understand. It's a outfit. It's being brought by Woody's. Is it what it is? The Woody's National. But the Tri-5 guys have bought all the tooling from General Motors, and they are now can build you a brand new 55, 6, and 7 Chevy any way you want. If you want a late model driveline in it, or if you want the old 283 back in it, they can do whatever you want. So why'd you pick that the shoebox series cars for race cars? Why'd you do that?
Well, one thing, my dad, we got a 57 two-door hardtop street car, and that's just all the old cars he had, and I just continued with it. So, and they'll never get outdated, so that's one of the things we like doing.
And you get to run all kinds of events because of the years they are, too, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's the smartest race car to have, I would think.
I think so.
And the thing about it, buddy, we're going to take some pictures and flip them behind this show, because either one of your rides, they would be just as much at home in a car show as they are here at the racetrack. That's unreal.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. We put a lot of time and effort into them.
Well, buddy, it sure shows. I mean, the 57 is just drop dead gorgeous. Now, that's all you can say. I mean, it. What's old saying? To bring a tear to a glass eye. Is that what?
That's correct.
You having fun at Hot Rod Reunion?
Oh yeah, it's a great time. It's really a good show. Yes.
That's all right. Just get up a little closer where they can hear you.
No, that's really a good show. We come every year and have a big time with it.
Well, I tell you what, guys, we go all over. We go to a lot of events, and you need to check this gentleman's stuff out. There are no sharper cars than what you have here. I mean, you take it to the car show, you take it anywhere you want, and you have the class of the field. There's no doubt about it.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. That makes it all worth it. Right
How
there.
quick are they?
The 57 runs 8 flat. The 55 should run 9 flat.
Whoa.
Mile.
That's a pretty fair little ride.
It's not bad.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, the 57's all glass car, and the 55's a steel body.
Man, I tell you what, this sure brings back a lot of memories to this old fat guy. You know, we grew up in that era. Of course, you're not old enough to appreciate that, but we are. And man, that's just, there are certain cars that withstand the test of time, I guess you would say. And what you have is what it does. That and a 32 Ford are just about it. You know, as far as when you say hot rod, that's what comes to mind.
Right. Well, which there's no bad taste in old cars anyway. They're all nice.
That's right. How long you been drag racing?
Probably 20 years.
Still like it as much now as you did when you started?
Just like it always was, yep, from the day I started.
What'd you start with?
The 55.
This 55?
Yes, I did.
So you've been running that car for 20 years?
Yes,
Boy, is that cool or what?
it is.
I like it. And a good old Kentucky boy, too.
That's right.
Guarantee you got to have some sweet tea in a trailer somewhere.
I'm sure we do.
Yeah, hey, the boys from Kentucky know how to roll. Now, there ain't no doubt about it.
We thank you.
And listen, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. We disturbed you with what you were doing, and honestly, as good-looking a cars as you have, we're not sorry for it because we got to stop and see them real close.
Well, I've enjoyed it too.
Well,
Thank you for stopping.
listen, we're gonna get out of here and stab and steer, guys. But if you come to the Tri-5 event, which is August the 14th and 15th, right here at Beach Bend Raceway, 2015, you need to write it down because we know we have listeners in Paris, France, and the Netherlands, everywhere. And guys, you need to book your boat trip if you're into 55, 6, and 7 Chevys. You need to come to this event, and you're going to see our buddies 55 and 57 at it. And it'll be probably the class of the field. And we appreciate you joining us so much.
Not a problem. We'll try to make it.
All right, buddy. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and let our sponsors hear from them, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the Hot Rod Reunion, and I come down and see a bunch of my old buddies here. Number one, I saw Dave Mullins working with wrenches, and I couldn't believe it, so I had to stop. Then I come in, and my old buddy here, I call him Mr. Stud Muffin for the Studebaker. Tell everybody who you are.
Butch Hill. Butch Hill.
Butch, you guys are wild. Your Studebaker is undoubtedly one of the coolest cars at this place.
You know what? You probably won't believe this. That car, this year is its 50th anniversary of being a race car.
Really?
Yeah. My dad bought that car in 1961. By the way, when I was born.
Okay, all right.
And
you're going to tell everybody how old you are, but that's all right.
Well, there you go. It's out of the bag.
Gave away the secret. Yeah. Your aspirations to be a Playgirl model are over, right?
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so he bought it for a parts car
Uh-huh.
in 61. So the car, it's a 53, so it wasn't that old of a car. I don't know how it became a parts car at that point, but he pilfered parts off of it and sat behind the barn for, several years, and then in late 63 and in 64 it started actually becoming a race car where it actually got a Hemi in it, put into it out of a Chrysler 392 Hemi, and it got an Olds rear end put in it and a 4-point roll bar and a set of headers, and it was a race car.
Buddy, she's showing up a race car now. I did, guys, we're going to take some pictures so you can see this really good as it flips behind this show. But if you've seen the T-shirts, the old T-shirts with the monster shirts where the motor looks like it's way too big for the car, well, with the hood up on this car, that's what that looks like. You expect to see one of the little guys with his hand out the roof and the shifter up there,
Exactly.
Is that you?
That's me.
Did you model that for those shirts? Is that it? Or
well, I can tell you the Hemi is probably what they did model it after.
Yeah, there you go.
And what's funny? I get people that aren't that come up and look at the car that are maybe not as in tune with racing and all that. They're just here visiting, watching the races.
Yeah.
They look at this thing and they go, "Oh my God, how big of a motor is that?"
Yeah.
And it's kind of like blowing the wind out of their sail when I say it's 392.
Yeah.
They're thinking it's 700, cubic inches or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, it's actually one of the smaller motors around.
Well, now is it a 92 or is it a Donovan?
It's a Donovan motor, but it's based on.
I'm familiar with them.
Yep, and it's based internally everything. It's got big block Chevy rods and aluminum rods, and actually I calculated out it's about a 396 or 7 cubic inches.
Yeah, but it should live forever.
Oh my God! It just I've built that motor for years and years and years, and this last motor the motor that's in it now, I had Al over at Freedom Racing Engines go through it because I just. You need another set of eyes after a while.
Oh, sure.
And, some of this stuff has been going for a dozen years on it, and it's like, we need to really look it over without my eyeballs. And so Al over there at Freedom Racing, he put together a great chart block for me. And really, he rebuilt the fuel pump on it, and we didn't flow it before or after.
Okay.
And last year, I fought fuel all year long. It was fat, but we finally found it back, and man, we were just over at Gateway.
Yeah, you ran some low H or something, huh?
Well, I was running, actually we were trying to run the 850 index, and so I ran a couple of qualifying runs at 846 and 847 and 848.
Yeah.
And then got up against Dave Mullen here with American Pie, and we had a great race.
Now there's a YouTube video that you can actually watch that, guys. Tell them how they find that.
I believe you can just put in NDRL Gateway, and you'll find a search somewhere, and you'll find this YouTube video of Dave in the 37 Chevy and me in the 53 Studebaker having a fun run. And my son put the video together, and he's got cameras all over the Studebaker, and it's actually pretty cool. Actually, Dave beat me by about 3 inches.
You ever watch all those movies and get scared?
Well, no, not really.
Okay, all right. Yeah, who knows? You might be the next TV star. So you might be a reality show of how you control the ultimate beast or something. See, we'll come up with a good name for it. You
know, I think we should. This whole racing thing should change, and we should be able to put 2 people in the car and let people take a ride. Because I'll tell you what, if you never got in a fast car like that, you got to get in one.
Believe it or not, that is actually being done. There are some 2-seat dragsters. Cool. And now there is a side-by-side 2-seat. Before it was a front and a back.
Right.
But now they've made it wide enough that there's a side-by-side rear-engine dragster that you can actually ride in. There's a ton of stock cars. My wife, love her to death, she's at one time had an alcohol dragster.
Okay.
And then she turned into mom and that stuff, But we went and did a show in Orlando, and she had to do the Richard Petty driving experience.
Know it well.
And I was afraid I was going to have to buy a late model when I got home. I mean, she loved it, And I said, Susie, no, honey, you don't need to do this. We're old. Let's quit this stuff. But thank goodness she's not here, because if she saw the Studebaker, I know my wife, and she appreciates really cool cars. And, buddy, you got one.
Well, I love it. And, it looks like it's doing 200 mile an hour sitting there. And, you can't – it's hard to convince people that that's been a race car for 50 years.
Well, think about it. What's it got, 100,000 miles, quarter mile at a time?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. A couple eighth miles, but, mostly quarter miles.
Well, just got to make twice as many runs there, see?
Yeah, but, the bad part is there's a whole lot of eighth-mile racing I've done on a quarter-mile track.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know what the hell happened here.
Well, I don't know. Just they just didn't have enough grandstands for people to appreciate it all the way down. See, that's our answer. See, we'll come up with something good.
Exactly. Well, it's always, something breaking here or breaking there. But actually, we've been doing good, knock on wood.
Well, I tell you what, it is always our pleasure at Event Radio to have the NDRL guys here, because you guys put on a great show. I don't care where you are, at what track you're in. Man, you guys come up, people, they come to the fence because they know they're going to get their money's worth right there.
It's fun. It is fun. And you're right. NDRL, what a great group of people. What a great organization. And I tell you, in the Midwest, it's the organization to be involved with, because they've really got a program put together really nice.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to be like a couple of lap dogs and just follow y'all around. How about that?
All right.
We'll keep up with what's really happening.
Well, good talking to you.
Hey, buddy, we appreciate you joining us on Event Radio. Guys, we're going to stab and steer.
You think I could sneak you in there on the next run? Maybe get in the Studebaker with me?
Well, I'll tell you what I want you to do. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a story real quick. And the very first show we did, considering this is our year anniversary, Terry and I grew up sort of in a drag race mode. We raced go-karts at 8, but we would come to Beach Bend with his daddy, which is a member of the Kentucky Motorsports Hall of Fame.
Cool.
He had a D-gas 55 Chevy injected car, 1050 car, but he snuck us into the races in the trunk because we were 10 years old, or 9, or somewhere in there.
Uh-huh.
And we would go to the park up here at Beach Bend and play.
Oh, there you go.
But we thought if it was cool to sneak into the races, it would be cool to take a ride. And we actually got in the trunk. My very first ride down a drag strip was in the trunk of his dad's 55 Chevrolet. And if you've ever tried to hang on...
Did he know you were in there?
No, he did not. Actually, that's the very first ride, and I've done funny cars. I've done everything since. But the motor we were both screaming our lungs out during the run, because the car, you ought to try to hold on to a 1050 car loose in the trunk.
Oh, I hear you.
I mean, it's a pretty good little deal to do. But anyway, we're both screaming our lungs out, and the RPMs were up. He couldn't hear us until the shutdown area. Well, he got off the throttle. We're still screaming. I guess then he thought the rear end was going out. I don't know. But he pulled off the return road, and Buddy, he was back and popped that trunk to see what was wrong, and he found his 2 little bloody buddies back there with him. So that's our first drag race ride. So now, trust me, I wouldn't be too scared to ride in the seat with you.
I hear you there. You might just be the was it you and him?
Yeah, it was us.
Okay. So you might just be the only two people that ever went down a track.
We
in
are
the
the
trunk of
only.
a car.
Trust me, we started out. It's sort of funny. We're not. We're actually not radio people. We're old ex-racers because I ran funny cars forever. Terry is an ex-professional speedway motorcycle racer. We are not radio people. We just sort of fell into this and having fun.
You guys are doing an excellent job.
Well,
I'll tell
thank you.
You
We
guys
appreciate
really
it.
are. And if you haven't gone to eventradiolive.com, you
need to. Yeah.
You definitely need to. You got, what, 50?
There's 50 some shows on our archive page, and they cover everything with wheels, and they're pretty entertaining.
Let's talk about the wheels. What's the craziest set of wheels you covered?
Craziest one probably has been roller derby. But we have done a lot of stuff. We did roller derby. We did soapbox derby. We did things that we never thought we would do.
Very cool.
Next weekend, matter of fact, we're going to Jack Daniels Distillery. We're going to the Lynchburg Motorcycle Rally.
Well, there you go.
But we do everything that has wheels, and so you don't get bored with our stuff. And we appreciate our listeners. Our Facebook page now, I think, is up to 25,000 or something, and we appreciate it. It's in 1 year. Everybody being so good to us and so nice to us, and people like you that make us sound good. We appreciate
when it comes to a quarter-mile coverage and drag racing, you're the friends of NDRL, and we welcome you here at any event we're at.
You know, that's probably the nicest bunch that's ever hadn't kicked us out. You know, we're pretty we feel pretty honored about that.
There's a lot of people that are really not right in this organization.
Yeah. Of course, we have to kid with our buddy, Miss Michelle Lewis. We call her the first lady of NDRL.
There you go.
So she's our buddy, and she goes to bat for us every time.
So get this: at the last race, she blows a tire. She didn't blow it on the track, I don't believe. I don't know the story of that part. But anyway, she's got a tire. It went down. It needs an inner tube, you know. And I don't know if it's on a return road or what have you. And I happen to just have an inner tube that I bought the week before.
Okay.
That fits her car. So they break it down, put the inner tube in, drive the car, and put a hole in that one. And they're trying to figure out how in the heck is this happening. Well, the nail was, after the first one, the nail went in the tire, and they couldn't find it in there, and then it took the next one out of there. But anyway, that was just kind of an ironic thing.
Well, we'll ask her about her tire episode probably.
Yeah,
before
so
we
you
leave
got
here.
the inside story. So when you talk to her, you can kind of mess with her a little bit.
First, I'll ask her all the tires up, and she'll know what's going on. Right
there, you go.
Listen, my friend, thank you for joining us on Event Radio. It's always our pleasure, and we love your car so much we couldn't help but coming over here. One of the absolute coolest race cars, guys, you will ever see, and we will do the pictures behind it on our archive page. But it's just Mr. Stud Muffin himself. You got a new nickname now. See, we've given you like the roller derby girls. You got a Mr. Stud Muffin.
Mr. Stud.
There you go.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy. We'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we've been coming to Hot Rod Reunion for years, and there is one car that always steals the show at this place because it smokes the tires just about from one end to the other, and it's a twin engine. I'm not even sure the brand name. What's your name, sir?
Bob Witzel.
Bob, where are you from, friend?
Stanton, Michigan.
Stanton where?
Stanton, Michigan.
Michigan.
Yep.
Boy, that's a long ride, buddy.
500 miles.
500 miles.
Yep.
But this car, you put on one heck of a show with this car. I mean, it is really fun and cool to watch. What got you into doing this?
My whole life, I guess, I always liked spinning my tires. So I was doing street rods. Just got tired of being on the road all the time, and decided that a dragster would be the thing to build, and one that would smoke the tires. And I figured 2 500 cubic inch Cadillacs might be just the ticket, and they've worked out real well.
Boy, I tell you what, you flat do it now. There, guys, everybody, every time he gets this car up and makes a pass, you just automatically see the people from out going to the fence. They're right up to the fence to watch this. Because can you smoke them completely from one end to the other?
I have. It just depends on the track and the day.
But does it?
There's times I went out the end of the quarter miles just.
So I know. I've seen you. I've seen you with her sideways and the whole 9 yards, and it's a trip now. It's fun, and you are just having too much fun for a guy your age now.
Exactly. That's the most fun an old guy can have.
Well, the fun police are going to be after you, I guess.
That's right.
And then your tow vehicle. Now I can't get over with that. What is this thing?
Well, it's part of a lawnmower. The back half is a Ford lawnmower rear axle with a hydrostat in it, and then just a lawnmower motor in it. I just made it something that I could put behind the dragster in the trailer to make room for it. I had to build something that had room for it, and it gets me around. And I can haul 4 people on it.
Well, what about who is the guy that gets the very back seat when it wheelies and sits on the back? Is that a specific honor, or is that a bad seat or a good seat?
Well, that just depends of how many of there is. Ever who gets back there.
Okay.
It's the luck of the draw.
And then you've built a matching school bus called the Redneck Winnebago.
That's true. Well, kind of a financial situation. I didn't have enough money to really go into this the way a lot of people do, but I wanted to play the game. And
but the thing about it, buddy, you've stolen the show doing it. See, and that's all these guys with these $100,000 race cars. You put on a better show than they do.
Well, I appreciate that. I enjoy doing it, and it's just something by building my own, I could afford to do it. Other than that,
well, I tell you what, you make an awful lot of folks happy because they really enjoy watching you do what you do, and it's just cool.
I really enjoy doing it.
And we have chased you for a whole day here to try to get you on this little radio show because we like it. I mean, we said we're a fan too, but this is cool. What do you do, sir, other than go out and have fun here?
Well, I worked for the Montgomery County Road Commission and retired from there 12 years ago, and I haul scrap and what I can do just to make this happen.
Yeah, just to have fun and do this.
Yep. I build a lot of street rods for people, and just keeps busy and making a few bucks,
well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, buddy, I tell you what, you got a heck of imagination with this thing up here, and being able to put 2 500-inch Cadillacs on a dragster. That's wild. That's wild.
Yep. Everybody thinks it's a big deal to make 2 motors run together, but it's simple. You just bolt them together and go.
Just say, hold on here, watch this, right?
Double the horsepower.
There you go. Well, listen, my friend, thank you so much for taking the time. We had to actually chase you down to get you to be on Event Radio, but thank you for taking the time to be on here. We think your deal is absolutely awesome, and you're having fun, and that's the main thing about this whole deal. People get a little too serious sometimes.
Yep. I'm with my family. That's what helps too. You enjoy it when you can go do something like this and have your daughter and your grandkids with you and cousins.
And having fun.
You bet.
Hey, buddy, I tell you what, you're probably, in all honesty, the envy of a whole lot of them out here. To do it the way you're doing it and to have as much fun as you're having and to bring everybody along with you, and they have fun out of it too. So
exactly. Yep.
Can't beat that.
Thank you.
Guys, we're going to stab and steer, go right up and down the boulevard, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back with from the Hot Rod Reunion, and we come up on our favorite gal of this event that we got to talk to last year, and she has a new sponsor that we're going to introduce you to, but no doubt one of the classiest ladies with the classiest act that we have had the pleasure of talking to for a long time. Miss Susie Christofferson, how are you, ma'am?
I'm just great.
Well, you look good.
Well, thank you very much.
This ain't fair. You've lost weight. We've gained weight. That ain't fair. Now, what's wrong here?
I don't know, but it just been a long winter, and we're glad to be back out here this summer and getting out there and getting ready to make our first pass.
That's good. Well, of course, guys, she has the Suzuki 57 Chevy funny car that we fell in love with last year, and we just couldn't help ourselves. We had to stop. Who's a new sponsor, gal?
This is Uncle Earl's Hand Healing Soap. It was...
Well, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Uncle Earl's Hand Healing... Wait a minute. Uncle Earl's Hand Healing Soap. I did that.
That's right.
And it works?
And it works.
Wow. Boy, I tell you what, it's really cool when the sponsor stuff works.
Yes. Well, we actually started using the soap and loved it so much. My husband found out about it because it was invented for machinists and mechanics that get really dirty hands, and their hands are in all kinds of chemicals.
Yeah, and you wash them so much when you're in that line of work that they split open.
That's what happens, exactly.
And I don't know, guys, I'm sure a blue jillion of you that are listening to this show have had that same thing happen. Because if you work on cars or you constantly wash your hands, and you'll almost wash them with a Brillo pad if you have to get them clean. And and use dishwashing soap, use anything you can to get the grease off.
And one of the things that is most damaging to your hands is all the abrasives, but that's what people think they need to do to get the dirt off. This is all natural oils.
Really?
And it actually cleans your hands better than using abrasives, and it leaves your hands hydrated. It helps all those cuts and scratches to heal up.
Woo.
And then you don't hold on to the dirt in the skins and the crack.
Ain't this cool? And they're smart, too, guys, because they picked this lovely lady to be their spokesperson. And, I mean, here we're wanting to see her anyway because she's so nice to us. But here we stopped by and we found something that's really cool that actually they fell in there to sponsor her car. This is great.
Well, it's an industrial soap.
Okay.
But we thought that racers should know about it because they make it in 3 different forms. It comes in bar, comes in liquid, but it also comes in foam, and it makes a wonderful waterless soap. We carry it on our race trailer. 1 squirt and rub our hands in a paper towel, and your hands are almost clean as you need to have them for the rest of the day.
Boy, that's cool. That's cool. And where, Susie, where can they buy this now?
Well, it's mainly from the internet. And
Okay.
it's a website, www.uncle-earls, EARLS.com.
Okay.
And like I said, they're a small company in Ohio. They actually have another line of business, but they invented this soap because they had a lot of guys that had really, really bad hands, and they needed to make them better.
Well, I tell you what, Gail. Hey, women don't normally endorse soap, guys. I'm going to tell you that. Number one, there is no way 90% of them you get them to wash their face with it, you know. And my feeling is this stuff probably wouldn't hurt a lady's face, even with it being all natural
All
stuff.
my lady friends buy the lavender. It comes in orange, lemon, lavender, and hyperallergenic.
Okay.
But all my lady friends buy the lavender because it's great for shaving, for the guys and for the ladies. And
Really?
They use it all winter long and shave with it, and their legs don't get dry and crack. Yep, it's wonderful.
Wow. Boy, I tell you what, it's amazing what you can learn at the racetrack, you know?
Yes.
I mean, everything T and I know at all we learned at the racetrack, but then we come and find out about this. This is really cool stuff, guys. You need to we got a free sample, and we're going to slide all over this place.
That's right.
with the soap. But coming to the Hot Rod Reunion or anywhere that you see the Suzuki 57 Chevy, please come up and talk to this nice lady. She is a wonderful lady to talk to. We look forward to it's a highlight of our year to get to come and say hi to her. And now that she's got a sponsor, you guys, trust me, whatever you're giving this little lady is not enough because she is a fabulous representative for your company. And, you know, guys, hey, there's a lot more that should be on board with you.
We'd always welcome somebody to talk to if they're.
But now, see, we got to find somebody that's got dirt.
Yeah.
You know, where you get good and dirty, and then you got the soap to clean them back
That's
up.
right.
See?
Yeah.
We're thinking ahead for you.
Yes, you are.
See, we're working on
Well,
it.
thank you.
All right.
You're my best fan right now.
I'm telling you, buddy, we are your best fan. And that's very easy to do, guys. The one and only Miss Susan Christopherson, thank you so much for being on Event Radio again.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Oh, we're having just too much fun for old guys. Guys, we're going to stab and steer. No telling where we'll wind up, but we will be right back. All right, guys, we are traveling through the infield area, I guess you would call it, and we came across probably the best charity here, without a doubt, the Corsair Charities, which are the Shriners, and we're selling a chance on a pretty cool old car. What is your name, sir?
My name is Jerry Elkin.
Where are you from, Jerry?
I'm from southern Indiana, but right across from Louisville, Kentucky.
So you're close to Ritzpah. No, it's not. Wait a minute. You're close to, let me think a minute. Ritzpah's where I am, so that's wrong with. Oh, shoot. What is that?
We're in Floyd Knobs, Indiana.
Oh, okay. So you are across the river, right?
Right across the river, yes.
Okay,
sir.
so you're not in the Louisville deal.
No,
Okay,
no.
well,
I'm representing Louisville on this car, though.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's all right. But you are a traveling guy.
I am.
Okay. Well, we established that we're both headed. We're at least both headed in the same direction.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the old car that we're the 37 Ford that you're selling chances on this. It's actually a charity raffle to, I guess, support the Corsair charities, right?
Right. This is we're raised money every year. This is our 6th car that we've given away. All the money goes directly to the Corsair Hospital in Louisville. It's designated for organ transplant.
Well, that's cool. And the cool thing, guys, if you're not familiar with the Shriners, I can't hardly imagine why you would not be. But if you are not, they are a hospital, children's hospital, that actually will operate at no charge to you. If you can't afford to go to it, you can take your kids there. All you got to do is find one of the guys, and they can work that out for you, no matter who they are, to get you into there. And they are the best surgeons in the world. They're the best doctors in the world. And it's just a cool deal.
It's without a doubt. I mean, we never turn a child away, and some of the things they're able to do there is just unbelievable. And it's just an unbelievable hospital. I mean, I love doing this just for that reason, just to help out the kids.
Hey, I'm telling you what, and you guys show results of what you do. I mean, you'll see guys that you talking 20, 30 years old and say, hey, I wouldn't be here if it was not for one of the Shriner hospitals,
Right. I bet we've had 15 or 20 guys come up to us today to buy tickets just because they are a Corsair child.
Well, it's a awesome charity. At Event Radio, we don't normally buy tickets, but we're buying tickets to this one because it's a deal that. Let me ask you something. Can they email you or anything and buy tickets over the internet or anything? Or are we too technical?
That was too technical for me. Now,
Okay.
I'm sure they can, but we're at all the NSRA events.
Okay.
So we travel everywhere they go.
So you're going to be at Street Rod Nationals in Louisville. All right.
We will be, definitely, yes.
Okay, guys. Well, trust me, you can, if you want to just kick in a little, you can just send your money to Corsair Children's Hospital in Louisville, Kentucky, and Shriners Hospital is all your way. You got to only thing you got to put on the envelope. They'll get it.
That's exactly right.
And what a great thing. What a great organization. It's just, man, it don't get no better. These guys work their heart out. They don't want fanfare. They don't want thanks. They don't want anything. They just want to help the kids, and that's a cool deal.
That's exactly right.
Now, let me ask you something. Are you a clown or are you?
No, I just do this event. I became a Shriner just to do this event.
Did you really?
Yes.
So how long ago was that been?
I've been doing it now for 5 years.
5 years. So you've been in the Shrine for 5 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're a short timer.
I'm a short timer.
Yeah,
That's right.
You're a short timer. Okay.
That's exactly right.
I was trying to think how long I've been in it. Probably 30, maybe close to 30 years.
Oh my,
like
you are an old guy.
Yeah, I'm an old guy, but that's all right. Started at an early age as a young pup. But I still remember my little Hot Sands walk like it was yesterday.
There you go.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, my friend, thank you for being on Event Radio. There is no better charity, guys, in the world than the Shriners. They don't go beating on your door. They don't go calling you during dinner time. They don't do things, but they do get out here and work for the money for the kids. And how you can walk by and say no, you're above me. I don't know how you could, because irregardless about winning this really cool Ford over here, this 37 Ford Coupe, if that wasn't there and it was a model car 6 inches long and the tickets were still $10, we'd still buy one. So it's a great thing, a great charity, and thank you for being on Event Radio. Maybe we've exposed you to 2 or 3 people.
I hope so. We really do appreciate it very much.
Buddy, we enjoyed it. We're glad to do it. Guys, we're here at the Hot Rod Reunion. We're going to stab and steer, drive around a couple of more minutes, and no telling who will come up with absolutely nothing as cool as what we just did, but we're going to give it a shot. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're making our way around the infield, and we have come to the coolest event that goes on anywhere close to us. And we've always wanted to go, and we're going to go before the year's over, the Summer Nights Cruise in Somerset, Kentucky, which is, no doubt, the absolute #1 cruise in the entire state of Kentucky.
Hey, it's the car cruise capital of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it's official.
Is it?
It is. It's official. So, if you're
wait a minute. Are you King Cruise?
I can be. I can be. I've been called other things.
Have you other than that? Let's tell everybody who you are before we get into it.
My name is Mark Hansford. I'm a member of the Summer Nights Cruise team. This is our 14th season. Summer Nights Cruise is an event held on the fourth Saturday, April through October, Somerset, Kentucky. Like I said, car cruise capital of Kentucky. It is a free event. We have, on average, between 1,100 and 1,200 show cars and trucks at each show.
Yeah, I know. It's believe me, you're sort of like the gunfighter that when they come into town, they know who you are. and really, you think I'm kidding, but if you go to a car event, everybody knows or has heard about the Summer Nights Cruise. And it's the bad part about it, nobody says anything negative. Now, what are you guys doing there?
That's the ultimate compliment.
Well, I understand, but usually there is something negative about everything, and we honestly have never heard one negative comment.
Well, we've heard we charge too much to get in.
It's free.
Yeah.
I know.
We offer double your money back if you're not satisfied.
Well, that ought to work, and surprisingly, there's probably some bozo that would ask you. That's what's really bad.
Give it time.
Yeah, give it time.
Hey,
and go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just going to say we're here at the Holly Hot Rod Reunion promoting Summer Nights Cruise. Of course, we're tickled to death to be here. Holly puts on a fantastic show. Is this the place to be or what?
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's all right. Actually, tonight will be pretty cool at the hotel. There are probably as many fans of the evening cruise in at the convention center as there are this event out here during the day.
We're going to try to make it over there after dinner, and I was told just be prepared for anything. 1,500 show cars, and things get a little loose, I'm told.
You may see a burnout or two.
No.
Yeah, maybe one or two.
All this horsepower in one parking lot?
Maybe one or two.
Wow.
And the thing about it, when they go to the convention center, they not only look good, but they can strut their stuff too.
That's what we like to see.
Boy, don't we? I'm telling you, we're not that old yet. All right.
You bring them over here, you park them, you go watch a little drag racing tonight, you go out and you turn them over yourself.
Fun, yeah.
Absolutely.
Have a little fun.
God did not put us here to sit around and look at each other's show cars.
I sort of agree with you. And they're made to use and have fun with.
Absolutely. Drive them.
And that's where you guys come into play because you give them a venue that is so much fun and so neat to come to.
It's held in an old downtown. Somerset, Kentucky is a small town near Lake Cumberland. Get out your maps. Get out your GPS. It's right near Lake Cumberland. It's a small town. But we have a big time once a month, as they say.
Yeah.
And,
cool.
You come downtown, you do the show and shine thing, then you cruise the strip. We've got a 6-lane boulevard. It's just like when you were kids, when you're out with your honey out on Friday, Saturday night, going to the drive-in and maybe make a few laps around the local boulevard. It's
Surely
a good time.
Not.
Yeah, good time.
Do I look that old to you? I probably did that once or twice.
I did it once or twice. So.
You're a young guy next to me. Anyway. Listen, my friend, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We
love Event Radio. Event Radio.
Well, we appreciate it. We go a lot of distance. This little show goes everywhere in the world, and fortunately, we've got a lot of people that like us. I can't imagine it.
Well, you've got fans at Summer Nights Cruise.
Yeah,
listen to the podcast. Everything.
Well, I tell you what, we're actually fans of each other's deal because. Really, we're looking so forward. We're going to come down one time with the golf cart and get out there, and we're even going to bring our own water to put on the tires where we might do a little burnout for you in the golf cart.
I'll put you right in the middle of the show.
No, don't do that because it would be embarrassing when this thing just sort of lays on its nose. It doesn't do anything. But I tell you what, guys, if you're out at this event and you're walking around anywhere, please come over and see these folks. They are really, really nice guys, and if you go to their thing and they use our motto. If you come out and you have a good time, tell a friend. If you didn't have a good time, keep it to yourself.
That's right. Check us out online, summernightscruise.com.
There you go.
14 years worth of photos from all of our past shows and everything that's going on right now. You'll stay informed.
Now, what's the Camaro deal?
Camaro behind us is a 67 Camaro. It's kind of a custom deal, got a little bit of a custom interior. It's a raffle car. People say, well, how do you keep Summer Nights Cruise a free event?
Yeah.
We sell raffle tickets on this beautiful car. We sell a few T-shirts, but if you're at the Holly Hot Rod Reunion, stop by our booth. You can pick up a ticket for $5. $5 and you get a hot rod, maybe.
Hey, that sounds like a deal to me. That's one T and I can afford.
The cheaper the better, right?
Yeah, well, you know what our budget is. We're sort of slow, but we know how to have a good time, and we know the folks that will allow you to have a good time, people. and we're at it right now. And thank you so much for being on
No
Event
problem.
Radio.
Glad to be with you.
Hey, we're going to have some fun, guys. We're going to go through here and see what other trouble we can get into. They'll be chasing us from Somerset if we sit here too long, and we don't want that to happen.
Guaranteed.
So we'll be right back, guys. Well, T-Bone, what do you think, bud?
Hey, Spirit, this has been one of the better meets we've been to. You know what? I was sitting here thinking, how old were we? 8, 9 years old? We used to come out here and watch these drag cars like we're seeing today.
Oh, yeah.
The old
yeah.
Bantams, the Fiats, the
Oh,
Altras.
that was a regular Sunday deal.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know,
they
that's
were
what
the hot
did.
setup back then, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now the nostalgia. It brought back a bunch of good old memories, you know. Just like this car I ride here. Back in the day, that would have been the winner, you know.
Yeah. It's been a pretty fun deal. I think the crowd's probably down just a little, you know, and I don't know why that is. I know it's an older person's event and stuff like that, but and the weather really hasn't been real good. It
Maybe
hadn't
it'll pick up more
cooperated a lot. But it probably will. It'll probably pick up and things will get back to normal, and everybody will be out having a big time and fun and all that kind of stuff. Lots of hot rods. Tonight we're going to the
Holiday
convention
Inn
center.
Plaza.
Huh?
The Holiday Inn Plaza.
Yeah,
Convention
we're
Center.
going to the convention center because they have such fun stuff and such cool stuff there.
See our
at
old
night.
buddy Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis will be there in full force with his little hot rod truck, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a neat deal.
Well, fun's mandatory on this show.
Yeah, you got to have fun. Look at all the stuff over here. Yeah, they got all kinds of cool stuff. In
Here's
their
4 or
cars.
5 acres we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah, well, you know, they don't let us out much.
Well, we've been busy on the inside, I
Yeah,
guess.
we've been busy down there. Guys, we appreciate you joining us as always. We got to thank our sponsors. The wonderful people at Quick Fuel Technologies do more for us in the events than anybody. The guys at Final Finish, which make us even presentable. You know, everything they do is good.
Gearhead Gazette.
The Gearhead Gazette, so we know where we're going, because those guys they put all the events out there in front of you where you know what's happening and you can get to them all. Beach Bend Park and Splash Lagoon, and I think we ought to be splashing here pretty soon. It's getting a little warm.
Yeah, a little warm.
And, of course, Beach Bend Raceway Park, which has the ultimate in events. If you do, you can pretty much come to Beach Bend anytime you want, and you'll see a class show no matter what. So always try to be there and make that. We want to thank you for joining us on the first day of Hot Rod Reunion. We've had a big time. We've had a lot of fun. We're going to keep stabbing and steering and keep looking for some cool stuff. And if we find it, we'll tell you all about it. T-Bone, what do you think? Should we ride?
I think we'd get to tell everybody to come out to the plaza tonight and watch the burnouts.
Yeah, there you go.
Very exciting, a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. A lot
Legal
of fun.
fun.
There you go. We're going to stab and steer, guys. We're going to head back to town, load the Griswold wagon, and we will talk to you again.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.